You are listening to the Retina UK West Midlands local peer support group meeting recorded Tuesday, 24th of January 2023.
Welcome everyone. My name is Pam Batchu. I am the peer support West Midlands facilitator for Retina UK. I've been doing this nearly for a year now and I thoroughly enjoy it. And tonight's online meeting introducing Zoe Bates, Benefits and Employment Advisor at Sense. And she has also been quite instrumental in helping me procure employment. So I'll say no more. But the one thing I would like to say, if anyone has any questions afterwards, I am registered blind as well. So if you can just say your name, and if we can not talk over each other, that'd be brilliant, because I'm mine host now. So it's been a while since I've used Zoom. So, we'll all learn together. Over to you, Zoe.
Thanks, Perm, and I'll pay you for those kind words later. So, hi everyone. As Perm said, my name's Zoe, and I work for Sense, which is a charity that supports individuals with complex disabilities, as well as sight and hearing and dual sensory loss. Sense started up in the 1950s by two mums who had got children that were born deaf-blind, and because there was no support around at that time, they started the charity Sense. Now from there, Sense has developed as a national charity, and we also have a sister charity called Sense International, and they support individuals with similar conditions in places such as Bangladesh, India, Kenya, Nepal, Peru, Romania and Tanzania. Sense offers lots of support to individuals. So there's obviously the support that I provide, which is employment and benefits. We also do information and guidance support for individuals and families to make sure that they're gaining the correct support that they require. We have an arts, sports and wellbeing department. We also support with housing, such as residential homes, supported living. We support with educational centres, day services and Sense colleges, such as the one that's at Touch Base Pairs, which is in Selly Oak. And we also do holidays and short breaks and activity groups for children and families. And we also have a children's service. Okay, so where do I start? So the support that I provide is similar-ish to what you get at the job centre, but I don't have any time constraints. Whereas when you go to the top job centre, you've usually got 15 minutes with a job coach that you probably see once in a blue moon, because they always change around quite quickly. So you don't have that sort of rapport with your job coach because they do change quite quickly. So the support that I provide is your basics, is your CV, supporting with your CV writing, your cover letters, your job application forms. So anything around that area, I will support you with. I also run job search sessions once a week at Celio, Touch Base Pairs, where you can have the support of job searching on laptops with assistive technology, large screens and large keyboards. I run tech sessions once a week. So if you've got a mobile phone, a tablet that you're unsure on how to use the assistive technology on it, you can come in, speak to my tech guru, and he will sort you out with any issues that you've got. I also do a monthly job club where we have guest speakers come in to discuss what support they provide. And I've previously had local job centres, I've had NatWest Banking, I've had Severn Trent, Notch Uni, National Rail, and so I do get quite a varied guest speakers coming in just to go over employability skills or what support that they can offer. Now, the job club sessions can either be face-to-face or virtual, and that goes with the support that I provide. I can either do that through face-to-face, virtual, email, or telephone, whatever your preference is, if you have issues, you know, travelling into Selly Oak, etc. The other areas that I support with is going through employability skills. So within that, we cover the basics such as CVs, what a good CV looks like. We also really go into preparing yourself for job interviews as well. So getting actually yourself ready for a job interview, as well as going through generic job interview questions, doing mock interview sessions. And some of the mock interview sessions I've had outside organisations run these, as well as other employability sessions. I'm trying to think what else to do, Perm.
Your benefits as well.
Yeah, I'm just thinking what other employment bits I do. So I also, within the employment remit, is I actually go out to outside organisations and do a bit of awareness sessions with them, especially when we've run the Pan Disability Jobs Fair that we did last year. All the stakeholders that attended that had a hearing and sight awareness session, which was mandatory to them having a stand at the jobs fair. Now, we will be having a jobs fair again this year, which will be in May 2023, and all the information on that will go live towards the end of March. But obviously, if you are interested in that and you're struggling to book onto it, just either drop myself an email or Mark or Perm with their info at Retina UK, and I can get in touch that way. Okay, so that's my employment head, and then my benefits head. So I will support with your PIP applications, your universal credit applications, so getting your concessions such as your bus pass, your blue badges, anything to do with benefits. I can help support with your applications. And also the other thing I forgot to mention is I will support you with your access to work as well. When you're going in for, you know, once you've got your job and everything, I can support with your access to work. And I'll also discuss with you within the sessions that I run is when to disclose your disability if you wish to do so. So that is really everything I do. I've probably forgotten a few things, but you know, that's about it.
Thank you, Zoe. I'm going to put questions to the floor if anyone has any questions. If you can just say your names, folks, because obviously I wouldn't be able to actually see if anyone's got their hand up. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to you know, fire away. Anyone?
Lottie, I'm wondering, Zoe, what area do you cover?
National.
Like it's based in Selly Oak.
Yeah. So I am national, so I support the breadth of England from, I don't know, Somerset to Newcastle. So anywhere within England I will support. Obviously, there is the travel issue with that. So we either hold the meetings via Teams or we do it email or phone call, but I am national.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Lottie. Anyone else? Questions for Zoe on anything benefits, the employment programme?
I don't know whether you want a bit of background about myself before, if there's any more questions, before we have any more questions. Would that help her?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I'm registered blind myself. I've got a gorgeous guide dog that Perm's met many times called Lucky.
Yeah.
And my condition is congenital glaucoma. Now, I was registered partially sighted from birth, but I lost the majority of my sight about 7-8 years ago now. So I would say I've probably got about 3% of the sight left. My left eye is a false eye. So the vision I've only got is in my right eye. And as I said, it's only about 3% now. My employment background is I worked for a very large retail high street store for many, I won't say how many years, because then you'll guess how old I am. But for a very, very long time. And within that role, I did all the recruitment, I did all the training, facilitated both new staff and current staff with all their training and inductions, and also did health and safety and HR. And then it's nearly 6 years ago now, I left there, and I'm not sure whether any of you have heard of the charity Birmingham Vision. I worked for Birmingham Vision for a couple of years before they closed, and then came over to do Sense. So that's roughly a bit about me and a bit about what I do.
Does anyone else have questions for Zoe?
Yeah, Lottie, I'm interested in the job fair that you're advertising in March. Is that also going to be in Selly Oak? And if so, where's it likely to be?
Right, so it will be in Selly Oak, and we are based on the Bristol Road. We've got the most gorgeous building, and Perm will say how lovely it is because it's completely accessible. It's all on the ground level. Every toilet is a wide door toilet with which is for disabled people, so they're very large toilets. There's no ramps, there's no steps, it's all well lit in there, and we'll be using the very large conference room, which we call the buzz room. We're hoping to get around 30 stand holders per day, and we will have some charities there as well. But obviously I can't confirm on who will be attending the organisations until they've all got back to me to say they're doing it. So once I have got all that information collated, then I will be sending out lots of information on how to register and who will be attending the jobs fair.
Thank you. Thank you. So I have a question for you. So to enroll on your employment programme, is there any qualifying criteria? And the other kind of roles I wanted to ask you about were the volunteer roles that Sense have. So how would you go about, recruiting and getting onto that?
Yeah, so for Sense volunteers, all you need to do is go onto your search browser and just put in Sense volunteers, and a link will come up, and you just click on that and fill out all the details, and then one of the volunteer coordinators will get in touch. It's works well, it's fine with all assistive technology because obviously we test it all beforehand. But if you do have any issues, just get in touch with me and I will give you my details shortly. The criteria for the employment programme is obviously you will need to be either have a complex disability. If you've got sight loss, you would need to be registered, and the same with hearing loss. And if you have autism or learning difficulties, so that is really the criteria. If you have not been registered, unfortunately, at the moment, because of the amount of people that I'm supporting, I can only actually support people that are registered with either sight impaired or severely sight impaired.
Okay, that's lovely. But you know the volunteer roles at Sense?
Yeah.
Are they all listed or
yeah,
can
they
we go
will
through?
be. All the advertisement, all of the volunteer vacancies will be listed. It's a bit like a job search website, so you can filter down to the area that you want to volunteer in and what, whether you want it in Birmingham or one of our other hubs that we've got around the country.
Lovely.
But as I said, if you have any issues, obviously Perm's got my contact details and so has Mark, but I will read them out to you in a second, and obviously Mark's got them, so just contact Mark and he can give you my contact details.
Everyone who's registered tonight or haven't been able to come on tonight for various reasons, They will be like, you know, a thank you email sent out. And if anyone does express an interest, we have your details and we'll forward them on.
Brilliant.
You're always, everyone is welcome to contact me directly if they want to. But you know, throwing it again to the floor to our audience, and you know, thank you so much everyone for joining. Does anyone have any other questions about Sense and the other areas that Zoe has mentioned? So feel free to ask. Everyone's quiet tonight.
They are.
It's Jen here. I don't want to monopolise the time, but I have a question about access to work. I'm currently in a fortunate position where I have quite a lot of my sight still, and I'm still able to drive. The DVLA tests me every year, but I don't feel safe to drive at night, so I choose not to. And thus, at this time of year, I am paying for taxis to get to my place of employment. And I'm wondering if, without kind of the registered sight loss, I've not been registered with my sight loss yet because I'm not at that stage, if I would be able to access money to help me with that taxi kind of journey or not.
Yeah. Do you have any other health conditions?
No.
No. What may be best, because obviously this is your personal situation, is for me to contact you separately to discuss this. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely, 100% fine.
I don't know whether you're able to write my email address down.
Yep.
And then you can just drop me an email. Just say it was Jen from Retina, and I'll know exactly who you are. So my email address is Zoe, which is ZOE.
Yep.
.BATES.
Yep.
At sense sense.org.uk.
Perfect. Thank you very much for your time, Zoe.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jen. Does anyone else have any questions? Anything to do with employment, benefits, anything at all, folks? You know, the arena's yours.
Well, if you're anything like me and you get off the call and you think, oh, I wished I'd asked that, just drop me an email and I'll answer it as best as I can. And if I can't find out the answer, I'll know somebody that does. Well,
I have a question for you, Zoe. I mean, you talked about, they say that 75% out of 100 people with a visual impairment are unemployed. From your knowledge, and also with the kind of, you know, people that you help, clients, you know, call them, everyone have their own names. What is your success rate within, you know, the organisation itself, not only through volunteering, that people have procured employment?
You are asking me this now when I haven't got my figures on me, haven't you?
Sorry.
Thank you so much. I would average in a 12-month period, I'm getting about 2 people employed a month, which doesn't sound a lot, but I think last year I got around 18 people into employment. And this year so far, I mean, we're only, middle of Jan, I've got 1 person into employment.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
So do you think there is a general trend of change? And, you know, people,
I think there's a slow trend of change, if I'm perfectly honest. And I think we've, like, campaigns that Sense have run, we've done a lot of campaigns over the green pages. I've had a lot of meetings with government officials regarding benefits and employment. It is happening, but it's a slow process and a lot more could be done.
So do you think that the Midlands have a good trend in actually, you know, a lot of employers have the stickers of being disability confident, but we
have got a lot of employers that have got the disability confident sticker, but you have to watch which sticker they've got, because there's 3 elements to being a disability confident organisation. There's three levels to it. The first level is that you've acknowledged that you're having candidates through to be interviewed and they've got a disability. Two, you're actually employing a lot more disabled people. And three is where you're advocating to other organisations on the positive side of being a disability confident company. I mean, you can find the list on gov.org.uk, all the disability confident employers within the Birmingham and West Midlands area.
Okay, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. I just wanted to kind of, say, folks, if anyone has any questions, and if you feel that you can't, ask them in the arena, which is fine, please, drop Mark an email, or if anyone has expressed an interest. Zoe, could you repeat your details again, please?
Yes, I can. So my email address is zoe.bates@sense, which is sense.org.uk.
Do you have a direct?
I've got a mobile number. Yeah, so my mobile number is 07557 736 2946. So that's 07557 736 2946.
That's lovely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Does anyone have any questions at all? I'll take everyone's. I think it's tea time.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Zoe.
Lottie here, so I had to mute on.
No, that's fine. Sorry. Carry on.
I had a final question for Zoe.
No, far away.
If you had a job that was highly visual and you cannot do it, what would you suggest somebody did if they don't know what they'd like to do?
Right. If you're in a job that's highly visual, but you enjoy working for the company, it's worth having a chat with your line manager or HR manager to see if they can do a reasonable adjustment and move you to another department. Or you could contact R&IB's job retention team and they can support that way. But if you feel that you want a complete career change, this is where we go into detail of what skills you've currently got and what life skills you've currently got as well, that can be transferred into a new career path. If you feel that you might need upskilling in other areas, if I can't provide the provision at Sense, then I can try and source a provision nearer to you to upskill. So it's a case of having a good old chat and starting and seeing where we want to go and what you actually want to do. Because at the end of the day, the employment programme is bespoke to what your needs are. It's a holistic approach.
Okay. And what if you've been unemployed for 10 years or more?
It depends on the individual circumstances. I mean, they may be qualified in one area or not qualified at all. So if they've got no qualifications in the area that they want to go into, then we can look at courses that are accessible for the individual. We can look at volunteering, because obviously that gap of 10 years, or if they've never worked, it's going to be quite a shock going straight into into the workforce. It'll be a complete change to them. So we take it on what that individual actually requires, and we discuss it between us, if that makes sense. So it's not what I say they've got to do, it's what we discuss together and what goals and aspirations they want to achieve, and I'll support them in trying to achieve that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Is there David, could I make a contribution?
Yes, of course. Please do.
Well, I run my own company, and I have certainly a very visual element to my job, because I sell model cars for adult collectors. If somebody orders a green Jaguar, I've got a green one, a black one, a blue one, a grey one. I can't do that. I can't find the right one. I know the prices, I know the suppliers, I know the customers, but I get a support worker to help me to do that. If there's a visual element to your job, a support worker from Access to Work is available to help you.
Mm.
And I concur with that, because that's, you know, I use a support worker. So, you know, it depends on each individual circumstances, and that's something, you know, that I discuss personally with them, whether they wish to have a support worker or not.
Yeah. I had a lady come for a
same
job.
as you, I couldn't do my job. Well, I could do my job, but it would take a lot longer for me to do it, especially when I've got a PIP form to fill in.
Mm-hmm.
They are mighty long as well, aren't they, Zoe?
Oh, they are.
So, I mean, with the actual hours, David, with your hours and the kind of detailed work. So, are they with you all the time, or do you have them set hours in the week?
I get 35 hours a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know people get more than that.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes, I mean, for me personally, I have, you know, 2 support workers, and a lot of the work I do is quite detailed. It's quite IT heavy, and like Zoe's just said, it would take me forever. And
yeah, that's
because
the biggest problem.
Because of the actual award, and you know, it's all new to me, you know, doing everything from Access to Work. In my previous role, I was actually using taxis, and I wasn't. I had an eye condition, but I wasn't actually registered. So maybe the criteria has changed for that, Zoe, with taxis. But for me, I used to get a cab there and back because I was stopped. You know, they stopped me driving in my late 40s. So I used to, you know, pay, you know, up front. So, but there are areas that people can't do that, Zoe. So is there a contingency that Access to Work would allow? You know, people haven't got the funds to pay for it up front. It's a bit of a grey area.
Yeah, it is a very grey area, to be honest. It depends on the individual and what their condition is, whether they're registered and whether they've got any health conditions. It's like opening a can of worms, to be honest. Access to Work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's something that I would look into individually with each person of what their requirements are and if they hit the criteria. Now, you can go on your search engine again and type in Access to Work, and it's the government.gov.org website, and it will give you all the criteria there of what, you know, if you're if you hit that criteria to get Access to Work and the whole process.
I mean, sorry, somebody wanted to come in. Who was that?
It's Becky Pham. I just wanted to say on a positive note with regards to focus and where we work, it just works so well with the support workers, because obviously, say Pam's position VI and others where we work, they have such a vast amount of knowledge that we don't have, and they just need the information obviously inputting onto the system and reading and things like that, and that's where the support workers come in. And when they work together as a team, they can really get good results for the service users that we support. So it can be a really, really positive thing, the Access to Work. It's, you know, when it's put into place properly.
Yeah, Access to Work is a brilliant government funded scheme. There is a lot of rigmarole around it, but once it's in place and it's working, it's brilliant, because I couldn't do my, I mean, I have my support worker 25 hours a week and I work, full time. So I don't have her for about 12 hours. But those 25 hours, I get so much done with, if that makes sense. And I couldn't not have my support worker now. At first, when I lost my sight, I was like, no, I don't want one. I can manage. I'm fine. Leave me alone. But then when the issue was sort of forced, it was like, I wished I'd done this, you know, when I lost my sight. It would have been so much easier. So I strongly recommend, you know, depending on your circumstances, but I couldn't be without my support worker.
Yeah, and I have to say that, you know, I think it comes in stages of sight loss. I mean, as Jen was mentioning, that the ability to still drive during the day, but at night, you know, if you suffer with night blindness, then obviously you have that kind of migration to being safe.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to me. So I just thought, and also the stress I would feel going into work in my previous role and getting into work and making sure I was on time, it added to the burden of trying to see all the time. So I stopped driving at night simply because I didn't feel confident anymore. And so it was a gradual kind of, you know, migration to getting the support to enhance and empower, you know, yourself. But like you said, Zoe, it's an individual thing. But just like David's mentioned, support workers are brilliant because they're bringing skills, and Becky will kind of say that, you know, when it's good, it's really good. But what about care agencies? Where would you get listings for those, Zoe?
Same again, you can do a Google search, but I use a new agency that's just set up, and I can't fault the support that they provided other individuals that I support in obtaining and sorting out their issues with support workers. So I can share that if anybody is interested. They are Birmingham based at the moment, but it is a case of, if that company is not suitable for you, is doing a bit of it is a bit of a nightmare trying to get a support worker through agencies, because as soon as you put it in the Google search, support worker, they tend to be for individuals that need more physical help. So obviously medication, administration, things like that. You have to really look into the agencies. Now, Office Angels used to do it. Reed does support workers. There are a few about, but I can go into more detail on an individual basis if necessary.
I mean, I've gone through a few agencies, but with access to work, folks, even with your taxi, so if you are embarking on that journey, from my own personal perspective, you will need 3 quotes, and they will go with the one that is reasonably the cheapest one.
Yeah, they will.
And you can have a family member, you know, if they're not working or they're looking in between.
Yeah,
you know,
have a family member or a friend, as long as you've got 3 quotes from either for having a support worker, or as Perm said, or as taxis. They will look at each individual quote, and 9 times out of 10 they'll go for the cheapest.
Yeah,
but you're best looking at your research to, if it is going to be a family member, to get there, you know, have a look at what the wages are, because they vary a hell of a lot.
I think the going rate at the moment, if you hire someone, is £16
an hour. £16 an hour, but it can be, if you're going through an agency, it can be double, triple that.
Yes, of course, yeah. But yeah, so yeah. Do we have any more questions from the audience? Because I'm just looking at the time. I won't speak because my watch will go off. Does anyone else have any questions for Zoe? But if you don't feel, you know, that you want to ask in the public forum, because it is being recorded, you know, please feel free to ask the questions afterwards, and we'll relay those details again. But you're always welcome to contact us, and we have got your registration details on the database with Retina UK. Does anyone have any questions for me before we sign off tonight? Sorry?
No, I'm all ready to. No, I've got no questions at all. But it was great being on here today, and thank you all for giving up your, what are we today? Tuesday evening to listen to me ramble on.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, Zoe, and I know your time is very precious. I would like to thank, I would like to thank all of you individually. Thank you so much for coming on. I will be posting on the next face-to-face meeting, and it's looking at a local visit. And if there's anything you would like to know about tonight's meeting, It will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, and some bits will be edited out, obviously, any personal details. But if you would like to speak to Zoe offline and speak to her directly, just give me a shout or speak to Mark. Thank you so much again, everyone. I bid you a pleasant evening.
Before everybody goes, can I ask a question, Pam?
Yes.
Right, the question is, right, not with what we've been talking about, yeah, but apparently I've got an email, yeah, from Retina UK saying that there's one on the 26th of January. Can anybody tell me what's that one about?
That's a peer support. That's a national one that Mark's doing.
Oh, I see. Right.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a national one that Mark's doing. So if you want to register for that, I can help you with that, no problem.
Right, yeah. Thank you very much.
Is that okay? Because he's on the panel, so he'll be doing that.
Yeah, that's okay, yes.
All right, lovely. Okay. Yes, any other questions, folks, before I end the meeting? And thank you all again.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you. No, thank you all. And I know your time's precious. I wish you a lovely evening, and I look forward to seeing you. The next one will be face-to-face. Just keep a lookout for our, update on the Retina UK newsletter if you signed up for it. And if there's anything you would like to know, please contact me. And what I will do is speak to Mark, and I will convey a few messages to him of people contacting Zoe directly regarding personal issues. Okay. Thank you so much, and enjoy your evening, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Zoe.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Come and join us and meet the Retina UK team at our 2023 Professionals and Annual Conference held this year in London at the University of Westminster, Marylebone campus opposite Madame Tussauds on Friday the 23rd and Saturday the 24th of June. More information and how to register is available on our events page on our website. Thanks very much for your support. We look forward to seeing you there. We hope you have enjoyed this recording. If you have any questions, queries, or wish to leave any feedback, then please leave it in the comment section below. Alternatively, you can send your inquiries to info@retinauk.org.uk. Contact us via the telephone on 01280 821 334 or call our helpline on 0300 111 4000, which is open Monday to Friday 9:30 AM to 9:30 PM. If you would like to know more about our local peer groups, when your next meeting will be held, or if you wish to get involved in creating your own group, or would like to know more about our services that Retina UK provides, then please visit our information and support page on our website www.retinauk.org.uk and navigate to our local peer group page. Thanks again for listening. We hope to see you again soon. Take care and bye for now.